The first thing I did when I started this record was make the chords. That's what I almost always do. So I just start with making chords and with a really basic sound, almost in a preset. You guys all know Silent One, I guess. And then I start with it in a preset and tweak a little bit on it, and then I made these chords. So yeah, that's just, I just do it from the top of my head, and then I change a few things. I can show you guys later how I start a track or something, but these are the chords that I started with, and then I started with this sound, and that's basically just in a preset which I made like this. This is a few voices. I think there are a lot of, there's a filter on top of it, so if I take that off, it sounds like this. It's not nice for your ears, but then I add a low pass on top of it, and change the polyphony. That's basically the sound. Sometimes I switch off the retrigger for the effect. It sounds a bit warmer. So that's basically the sound. And at this version, oh yeah, the vocal's not in this project because when I put a vocal in my track, I do that afterwards, normally, because I don't want it to go through the chain from my master, because sometimes it sounds better when you just put it on top of the whole file in a new project. So I'll show you guys that later. The guitar is actually a melody I made. Let me check if I can find it. I made the guitar is a real guitar played by a friend of mine. So I made the melody with a really shitty guitar plugin. Let me check. Well, it's somewhere. I made the melody with this one. Dynamic guitars, which is a free plugin, really cool to start things with. Then I made that melody. Well, that's what I made, and then I sent it to the friend of mine, and I asked him, like, can you play this on a real guitar instrument? So I kind of used him like a synthesizer. And yeah, then he sent this back, which sounded really cool. And then I just relooped it and put a few effects on it, equalize it. Filter, but the filter is working in a project on an automation clip, so you'll see that later, and the reverb, of course. It's not really much, but just the little things that, yeah, that I tweak. So that's basically the first part of the break, and then the vocal comes in. I made this track without a vocal, so I left really much room to keep it for a vocal. So that's what I did, and yeah, I didn't really make like a melody in the break or something because I wanted the vocal on top of it. Okay, so later there are some claps. Almost everybody knows the Kashmir drop claps, I think. So I just add them really soft for the effect, and I added a, oh yeah, this one is just a bass. A bit sidechained. I use this plugin. I don't know if you guys know it, but I just found it out. It's from FL itself, and it's called Mini Synth. It's really, really simple, but yeah, if you want just basic sounds, you can easily use this plugin, and I made this bass in it. And sidechained it a little bit. It's not 100% on. so it kind of gets that like wavy vibe. And together with the claps, and I added a little kick, like a real drum kick. And then it sounds like this. And right now you can't really hear the guitar anymore because I filtered it out with this one. So there is more room for the vocal. And it kind of builds up. I have an automation clip on the cutoff from the silent, from this one. Yeah, the cutoff is opening right here. And then I have like yeah, then you have the build up, which sounds really weird without a vocal, but yeah. So that's the build up, and I used like plucky sounds that I used in the drop as well. Let's play from here, so the filter is a little bit open. And I made these plugs in Harmor, also a really cool synth from FL itself. These are almost the same chords as the break chords, but then chopped up and randomized them a little bit. And the sound came from, let me check, Harmor, and then I took a preset, but I tweaked a little bit on it. Well, I don't know which name it was, but this is the sound. First, it sounded really, really much like yeah, different. So I made it more plucky. And I added a few like effects. Really weird, but all to fill up the space a little bit. Which is basically just a preset from Massive. Massive, I use Massive a lot, by the way, and Silent, and sometimes Synth Master. And I layered it with another sound from Massive as well. So that's basically the build-up. It's not very special or something, but together with the vocal, it fits well, I thought. And like a riser from a reverse cymbal, which I also sidechained. So I really wanted that like wavy vibe in the break. And yeah, just sidechained this one, and yeah, we have a reversed Cashmere sample as well. All for the effects, and yeah, not like really, yeah, it's not, this is just a basic fill from Cashmere, which I chopped up. Everyone knows it, I guess. And then I added a loop, which I made in another project, but didn't really use it, so yeah, I added it from a sample pack, which has like the, how do you say that, like the riffles and stuff. And I thought it sounded cool. And then we are on the drop, yeah, which is a bit bigger than everything else. Yeah, so I'll play it once more.